They erased names, rewrote history, divided families, poisoned communities, and sold lies as freedom, Black America. How many generations must disappear before we finally wake up?
They told us entertainment was enough. They told us surviving was winning.
Meanwhile, schools declined.
Communities suffered, and another generation grew up disconnected from history.
Black
America,
wake up before they bury another generation.
teach the children truth before the system shapes them.
Learn the history they tried to erase from education. Build unity,
Build ownership,
build ownership.
build stronger foundations.
Black America,
Wake up,
before they bury.
another generation.
They took Africans from kingdoms and villages, packed them inside slave ships, chained them for months across the Atlantic Ocean. Millions died before even reaching American soil. Families were separated forever. Children were sold away from mothers. Men were beaten for reading books. Women were assaulted without justice. Slave owners built wealth from free labor, while black bodies were treated like property under American law. After slavery ended in 1865, freedom still did not arrive. Equally, Black Americans faced black codes, lynching, segregation, and Jim Crow laws. Schools were separated, neighborhoods were separated, hospitals were separated, voting rights were blocked through intimidation, literacy tests and violence. Entire black towns were burned to the ground, like Tulsa in 1921, where successful black businesses were destroyed by racist mobs. The government created redlining policies that denied black families home loans and wealth building opportunities. Highways were built through black neighborhoods. Factories left cities, and unemployment rose. Drugs flooded communities during the crack epidemic, while prisons expanded across America. Sentences for crack cocaine were far harsher than powder cocaine, even though both were forms of the same drug. Millions of black men disappeared into prisons, while families struggled without fathers and sons.
They told us entertainment was enough. They told us surviving was winning.
Meanwhile, schools declined.
Communities suffered, and another generation grew up disconnected from history. Black America,
Wake up before they bury another generation.
teach the children truth before the system shapes them.
Learn the history they tried to erase from education. Build unity,
Build ownership,
build ownership.
build stronger foundations.
Black America,
Wake up before they bury you. Another generation.
the civil rights movement brought change through sacrifice. People marched, protested, and died, demanding equal treatment under the law. Leaders like Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, and many others spoke about education, economics, and self-respect. Yet decades later, many black communities still face underfunded schools, police, violence, poverty, health disparities, and limited access to opportunity. Social media spreads distractions faster than knowledge. Music corporations profit from promoting violence, division, and destruction, while ownership stays in the hands of executives far away from the neighborhoods affected by the messages. Black consumers spend billions every year, yet much of that money leaves the community instead of circulating to create businesses, jobs, and property ownership. History is often shortened inside classrooms. Many students learn little about African civilizations, invented scientists, or economic achievements. Some grow up believing slavery is the beginning of black history, instead of understanding the depth of African cultures before colonization. Without knowledge of history, many young people lose identity, direction, and confidence.
Communities cannot survive without fathers present, mothers supported, children educated, and neighbors united. Political promises alone
will not save future generations. Real change requires discipline,
Financial literacy,
education,
land.
ownership, voting awareness, and community organization.
Wake up now,
Study the past now,
protect the youth now,
build the future now.
before another generation
Disappears in the
1 minute,
prisons.
guys. 1 minute.
poverty, violence, and hopelessness.
Every generation receives a warning.
Yeah,
Every generation faces a choice.
yeah.
Remain divided and distracted, or rebuild families, knowledge.
And economic strength together.
Black America.
The future depends on what happens now.
History already showed the consequences of silence.
Division and ignorance.
The next generation is watching and waiting for leadership.
Welcome to the Antifa War Room. My name is Reg, aka U.S. Army Overlord, aka Union Gang. We're back on it, live streaming on 4 different platforms. We're going to be diving right into it tonight, guys. I know I missed a couple of days, Monday and Tuesday. I really had an event I wanted to get ready for today. I'm so glad that I did. I was able to talk to another field grade officer, actually not field grade, but flag officer, general from the Special Forces community. He was a Ranger, outspoken critic of the felon in the White House and Pete WikiLeaks XF. Which was really cool, he actually knew me. He talked to me during one of our night shifts when we were doing the protests, when we formed Remember Your Oath last year to protest the National Guard. He also spoke out against the National Guard. He said that, not the National Guard themselves, but the National Guard deployment. I want to be clear about that. But he spoke out saying that deploying the National Guard to D.C. Has a danger of changing how the public views the military. And he really did not hold back in his responses that he had today. We had a roundtable. He was representing flag officers. I was representing, Black combat veterans. And we had a business owner, a Black business owner from the South. We also had an economist on the panel. So it was really damn good. That's probably gonna be out on YouTube. I'll be sure to drop that and hype it up once it comes out. I was very happy with that today. More importantly, I'm gonna talk to you guys about stuff that we did that we talked off camera. Because one of my main questions I had was, where the fuck are the flag officers? Right? There's so much criminality happening in the military right now. And we knew this would happen. Because if you put a felon in charge, you'll get a crime syndicate. But there's so much of it happening throughout the ranks, and the racism and the sheer fucking incompetence of it all. And so he also was challenging other generals to speak out. And he says one of the main reasons why they're not speaking out is because a lot of these generals, they get sweetheart deals from the government, right? They get contracting deals with like General Dynamics and other, of these guys out here in that industry. And so they're making damn good income. They're supplementing what they made on active duty. And they don't want to mess that up. Now, how convenient. It's a shame, right, that no one that they're not really willing to risk it at that level. But he asked him something that really I thought was damn good. Everyone he talked to, he asked these flag officers, retired flag officers, what is your red line? Right, what is your red line? My red line was the death of George Floyd for me. I knew at that point that I was going to be in this black liberation shit until I took my final breath. When I watched him take his final breath, that was my personal red line. I could not deal with it anymore. I could not listen to the bullshit lies anymore. I knew that I had to come out here on this activism shit. And he just kept going down scenarios. He said, so I guess one of the biggest red lines, he told him, so hey, what if soldiers start firing on U.S. civilians, or the military start firing on U.S. civilians? Will that be a red line for you? And many of the officers said yes. And he said, I'm going to hold you to it. If this happens at any time, he's going to come back and hold them to it. And so I have to say, General Manner is the one I'm talking about, and he is the man. Can't nobody fuck with him. He's a retired Major General. That's 2 stars. Like I said, Airborne Ranger, You can't fuck with that, right? The man has walked the walk, and he is rightfully going after the administration. And so that was a good conversation that we had kind of in between sets that we were doing. I was happy to be there. And shout out to my boy, hey, Matt. Angry, United States Marine Corps out there, my battle buddy. Good looking out, man. Good looking out for that opportunity. I'm glad I did it. I went in without any expectations, but it turned out to be a very good experience. I'll show you guys a clip from it. I had to get business casual, so I broke out my Black Lives Matter tie, wearing all black, and I wanted to go represent for us. And I did not hold back. Of course, I kept it clean because we know this is production value, high production value stuff they're doing. So, but I did not hold back. I was passionate and talking about what's happening and really the decay of the country. That it's really a shame that these guys are really putting white supremacy over everything. White supremacy over the rule of law, right? White supremacy over the separation of powers. White supremacy over Geneva Convention and the law of land warfare. They put white supremacy over all of that. And so the country is suffering because of it, because it doesn't help. White supremacy does not even help poor white people because you're literally destroying the programs that you need. That's why we was out here fundraising for other veterans who serve this country. It's really a damn shame that veterans have to be out here fundraising just because they can't afford their medication or food, while you have billionaires stealing our future. Elon Musk is a certified Nazi. He is a fucking crook. He belongs in prison. He belongs to be investigated. His company should be rolled up. All that bullshit he did with Doge was nothing more than a scam and a money laundering operation to defraud Americans of our taxpayer money. And he went ahead and took out, 4,000 black jobs, mostly held by black women. So somebody crying, man. Who are you to say, hey, bring me up, boy? Who are you? What you representing? And what makes you think that I want to have a conversation with a white supremacist? Come on, man. The time for me to debate, this is not Jubilee. So if anybody come in here to debate me, man, debate these nuts. It's not happening. I'm not here to talk to you, man. You can go refer to my last video of me eating that Trumper up. If y'all are here, because I know that shit's blowing up. That shit's blowing up on damn, on TikTok, right? 2.5 million. It's on Twitter. So I don't give a damn. They call me Stolen Valor, man. Hey, listen, who cares? Listen, let me tell you something. Every time that I have a video that blow up, and this is my biggest video that ever blew up, right? This is my video out there right now is the best one ever, right? It's already at 2.5 million. So 3 things I'm going to get called. 1, the hard ER. 2, some type of gay slur. And 3, stolen valor. Those are the top 3 things that demons call me. Don't give a shit. Do not care. If my pronouns offend you, deal with it. If my big ass beautiful flag offends you, deal with it. If them big full size 16 size medals upset you, then hey, you can go suit up. I mean, I literally got my damn resume behind you. Imagine somebody trying to call me stolen valor, right? When you see this shit behind you. But that is white. That is demons. It's the same demons that go out here and follow AI accounts, right? You would talk shit about me, a black combat veteran, but you would sit back and follow a fake ass AI bot girl following Trump. You'll give her 2 million followers, right? And pay damn what is it? $99 for her pictures. So yeah. Hey, I'm sorry for you that's still struggling over there on YouTube. So my latest video, you can go to Union Gang Soldier, go Google Union Gang Soldier. That shit is at 2.5 million on TikTok. It is over 80,000 likes on IG, so it's out there. I get that you think that this account here, guys, I have many accounts. I've been banned, permanently banned 31 times. 27 times on TikTok and all other platforms I've been banned. I've been banned with 235,000 followers on IG. Now I have 5 accounts. And one of my other accounts just hit 100,000 followers. You can't stop me, man. It doesn't matter because we represent the truth. And I don't feel bad. Listen, they've banned people far better than me. Educators getting their accounts taken. Hell, they took Tizzy down. Tizzy has 6 million. 6 million on TikTok. They banned him. So it's clear that MAGA does not want to know the truth. We're going to stand 10 toes down on that. So, but yeah, this shirt is not made anymore, unfortunately. If you want to look for it, you can go look up Black Lives Matter hoodie. You know, I may make a Union Gang version of this because this is a memorial. This is a memorial to what slave catchers do in this country, right? It's a memorial what they do because, yeah, I get it, man. Well, listen, I get that y'all in y'all feelings, but cry harder about it, right? Imagine that. Listen, you could scroll up. You choose not to, right? I don't get it. I don't go to MAGA Lives. I don't interact with you. I never say anything to you morons when I see you out there. You could walk around with your Trump tattoos in your upper thigh meat and have that red Mad Hatter hat on. I don't give a fuck. I'll let you do you. You have a First Amendment right to wear that shit. But for some reason, you get in your feelings. If you see me out there, y'all motherfuckers talking about fuck Joe Biden, let's go Brandon for 4 years. And I got a fucking a fuck Elon flag and y'all in y'all feelings. Yes, you can get a Union Gang hoodie. Hold on, man. We got that. Matter of fact, whether my videos do 2 views or 2.8 million views, I don't make no cash off of that. Right? I'm not in any creator fund, so it is what it is. You can help me directly. You hit me in that Cash App, Venmo, but you can also hit us up at Union Gang Store. I'm glad somebody asked for one of the hoodies. Let me show you that, what we do have. Even though it's a little warm, you might want to wear them bad boys to bed or something, some AC, but our hoodie line right now, we have right here, Legends of Black Panther Party. This is my favorite hoodie. It's black, face of red. Absolutely love it. There's a QR code there. If you guys are seeing it on YouTube or Twitch, you got the QR code for everybody else. You can see it at Union Gang Store. Union Gang Store. The other hoodies we have, and those come in multiple colors. They go all the way up from medium to 6XL. If you don't see the 6XL, then put a note in your comments. You can reach out to me, and then we'll make sure you get that proper size. I know a lot of people sometimes put the wrong size. Just shoot me an email in there. You see all the contact information. Shoot me an email and let me know that you need a size change, and we'll get that swapped out before they ship out. They ship out these hoodies and stuff, ship out about 30 days, guys, because we're sending them out to third-party vendors. And this is the other one we have, Malcolm X, of course, because you know I'm here for the Black Liberation Movement, in case that wasn't obvious by now. So these are our signature shirts out here. And those are the 2 hoodies I showed you. While we're here, we might as well get this out the way real quick, since we, do this pause for the cause. Here's our shirts right here. This is the one that started it all. Union Gang. Hey, I never thought that our Union Gang symbol would blow up. This is our most sold shirt right here. And yes, white allies wear it too. Matter of fact, I'm going to drop a video of my boy out there, Jay. He got one. Hell, Jay got this one. Listen, Jay so hardcore, I really call Jay the White Panther. Now, if you guys don't know Jay, he's also another fellow combat veteran. He's part of our founding 5 members of Remember Your Oath. We're out there for 108 days, protesting the National Guard being deployed around the country, because we're standing up and fighting back. He also rocked that Black Liberation shirt. Got it fully, spelled out there. We have the other shirt dedicated to the Eat the Rich series. There's the adjuster there for Luigi. Hey, free Luigi, man. Free Luigi. There's my soldier / activist shirt with different pictures from my time as a combat soldier to now what we're doing now in the Black Liberation Movement. This shirt right here is made famous by a white woman who could not mind her own business. Everybody know the story of Timu Pauladine, the lady who ran up on me while I was live streaming with a fuck Trump flag. It hurt her fragile feelings. So she decided to give me a lecture about how the Republicans freed black people. And I gave her a quick reminder of what the Republican Party stands for today, right? What they stand for today, the Confederacy. I asked her flat out, has she ever used the N-word? She admitted to using it with a hearty R. She said she prayed to Jim Crow Jesus for forgiveness and continued to spout off more bullshit she heard at Fox News. So I continued to roast her, let her know that what party renamed the bases after the Confederacy? The Republican Party, right? What party has destroyed black voting rights? The Republican Party. So when I called her a racist, I guess that was too much for her. So she slapped the phone in my hand, and I went ahead and matched her energy and put her ass on her back, and so she can leak out of her Depends all over herself, and her shoe went flying out on 610 on Garrisonville Road because I'm matching the sea energy. Nobody go put their hands on me, man. And if anybody knew me, you should have known that's gonna be the response, right? If you think I don't care if you 8 to 80, if you put your hands on me, I'm matching the seat in your energy. Period. All right, this is our free DC shirt for obviously for the shit that's happening out there in DC. Remember, everything that's happening in DC is a scam. Washington, DC is not even the top 30 most dangerous cities in America. A lot of the racist demons, they love the lies. This is why they watch Fox fake ass news, OAN, Newsmax. They love the propaganda channels. But Washington, D.C. was experiencing like a 30-year, low on crime. So it is what it is. All right, now you got, for those who like to drink, some coffee or whatnot, whatever you put in there is your business, but there's our Union Gang mug. Again, with our logo out there with the 2 dog tags and that unity fist. And we have the letters that trigger MAGA like no other. BLM. I don't know which trigger MAGA more. BLM, CRT, or DEI. Right? Or GAY. Because y'all seem to be triggered by so much. But we know y'all love it. Listen, the call is coming from inside the house. Every MAGA accusation is a MAGA confession. Y'all are so transphobic and homophobic, but you love the dick. Listen, you can report me to the FBI. What is Kash Patel gonna do? Honestly, what the fuck is cross-eyed Kash Patel gonna do? I'll simply put his caps lock on and let him melt down again. His dumb ass don't even know how to put in his own password. Just like most of y'all MAGAs, man, y'all fucking morons. Kash Patel and the FBI are fucking morons. Right? The FBI is a shell of its former self. And really, let's keep it real. The FBI hasn't done shit for black people. Right? The FBI hasn't done shit. What y'all gave us? COINTELPRO? You watched black liberation leaders like Malcolm X get assassinated, and then you lied and shit and let 2 innocent black men go to prison for 20 years? So it's been fuck the FBI anyway. Fuck the feds. And more so, even more so, who you got in the feds? Powerpuff Boys, Oath Breakers, motherfuckers who attacked us on January 6th? Right? So you could cry hard about BLM, and I know you didn't say nothing about stealing money over there. Who the fuck stole more than Trump? Trump been robbing y'all morons. Now you let him go from scamming you to scamming the entire country. He out here with this crypto scam shit that stole billions in your face. Matter of fact, they got a tracker. I'm going to be dropping it. Once I get this tracker from the group I was with today, they're tracking how much money that Trump has personally stole from us. I think it's like at 2.7 billion. So it's a live tracker that you can go watch and see how much money he stole from the fucking Saudi planes to all of these damn scams he got going on. That's it. It is what it is. Let's get it. All right, so here's the rest of the shirts. We also have something for the buck dancers, and Lord knows I've had a few buck dancers come out. I'm going to drop a video tomorrow clapping back at them because, if you heard one black buck dancer, you heard them all. I call them coon servants because what they do, they sit here and cry for massa, right? They sit here and repeat white supremacist talking points like they want to get picked. Like Byron Ronald McDonald, who had a black wife, cheated on her with a white mistress, divorced the black wife, and then ran over to the white mistress and started this whole grift. We never heard of that fool until Kevin McCarthy could not become speaker. 15 times somebody threw his hat in the ring. And now I guess he's running for governor of Florida. Good luck, man. I believe that shit when I see it. Right? So you think Florida really go vote for a black man? Let's see. And I'm not really sweating that. Let's see. Are they gonna let a black man? I know he cooning hard, but are they gonna let a black man run Florida? I doubt it. Right? I doubt it. Old girl tried to run here. The buck dancer, she tried to run here, and she got crushed by a Spanberger. I'm pretty sure he gonna get his ass beat because his opponent is gonna be white. And racist white people, they still look like, he's still in, right? He's still a hardy R. So you may, because they're never going to accept you, right? Every Negro get that in wake up call when you buck dance for white supremacy. So let me see when he wins the race. If he wins the race, then I say, okay, I guess that as long as you go on hard against black people, they may tolerate you. But the problem is they're far too racist, right? They still talk shit about Samuel Scott in the Senate. So, and he's the only one left, right? He's the only black senator left over there from the Republican Party because Republicans hate black people. Republicans hate minorities. They hate Mexicans. They hate anybody out here because they're doing it. Hey, report all day, man. Let me know when to come back, man. Hey, the guy who said you report me to FBI, man. Hey, listen, I don't give a fuck. Send me a copy of it, right? Send me a copy of that shit. Hey, hold on, man. Let me. Hey, screenshot this, motherfuck the FBI. What Kash Patel gonna do? Right? Kash Patel is a foreign agent. Matter of fact, I could become the FBI damn leader. I got a better background check right now than the fucking leader of the FBI. He got foreign fucking bank accounts. Foreign bank accounts, man. Y'all got an Indian over the FBI. I know them racist white people losing their mind. You put an Indian over that shit with foreign bank accounts because everything MAGA do is a fucking joke. It's a scam. A meritocracy out the window. FBI is a shell of itself. I would not, listen, I'll call the Iranians before I call the FBI. Fuck the feds. Hey, nothing but suckers and losers. Right? Nothing but suckers and losers now. Good luck with that shit. I'm pretty sure all the decent agents got their fucking retirement packet in or got the hell out of Dodge when they put the morons in charge. The problem with the white supremacists, you can't even damn tell the truth. Right? Everything in America is getting worse. Gas prices higher. Price of eggs higher. Your Mima lost her fucking Medicare coverage. And y'all still in here talking about, I support Trump. I support Trump. I'm an alpha male. Hear me roar. Meow. Y'all soft as baby shit. Come on, man. What a clown show. What a clown show. Natural fucking disasters hitting all over the place. Indiana, they got blackouts. You know some red states, man? They can't get right. How the fuck you got power down for over weeks now? Because the Republican Party is openly corrupt. Openly corrupt. So let me tell you something. Since you're obsessed with black people, America's so racist, they have never done anything to benefit black people. There is not one law on the books that only applies to black people. Not one. Prove me wrong for the racists out here that's in my chat. Show me one bill that America passed that solely helped black people. It never was a cause. Now, I can show you many times where they excluded black people, right? The big New Deal specifically excluded black people. The GI Bill, when that shit came out, they specifically excluded black people. They excluded black soldiers from that shit. Time and time again, look how the Confederacy is still operating to this day. The Ku Klux Klan never been outlawed. In fact, Birth of a Nation was shown, that racist ass show where you had demons in blackface acting like we going after the white women when they actually been raping black women for centuries at that point. Still talking shit. So we know who they are. What have you done? Yeah, you can say that Abraham Lincoln begrudgingly freed the slaves. But did he really though? Because my mama was a slave in Mississippi. So clearly, The South said, we're going to do that shit anyway. The South kept slavery going. And is slavery outlawed today? Let's get it. Question for the masses. Is slavery outlawed in the United States of America? Is slavery outlawed in the United States of America? There you have it, right? Hey, TikTok know. TikTok know. They be knowing over there. And the answer, boys and girls, is no. Slavery is still allowed under the 13th Amendment if you're incarcerated. That's why they still have black men picking cotton in Louisiana. Can you imagine that shit? Black men still pick cotton to this day in Angola, down there in that prison. And they call the fucking guards freedmen because you still racist as fuck. Right? America is the most racist country on earth. Only 3 countries voted down when the UN said that chattel slavery was the most egregious crime against humanity. 3 countries voted no. You want to know what countries did it? Israel, Argentina, and the United States of America. Because in the United States of America, slavery is still big business. Right? That's why you got concentration camps out right now, ICE concentration camps, to enslave women and to really impregnate a lot of these young girls, because a lot of y'all are motherfucking, rapists and all type of perverts. And they allow you in there with your white skin with no background checks. So we know. We know. And we're not going nowhere, man. I know you want to talk about North Korea, but Trump loves North Korea. In fact, that's the only friends he got. Right? Only friends he got right now, Bibi Netanyahu, Putin, North Korea. The rest of the world is isolating from America. That's how much y'all suck. Because everything Trump touches turns to shit. But let's get into it, guys. I spend enough time with these fucking trolls. Let's get into it and let's talk about it, what it is right now. Let's get into some history about America.
The South won the Civil War. Nobody's going to say it like that, but it's the God's honest truth. The South won the Civil War. They might have lost the battle, which was the actual war back in the day, but long term, they actually won. Confederate ideology is alive and well, and it runs this country. People are allowed to run around with Confederate flags, and Confederate monuments still exist commemorating people who were on the side of the Confederacy. You have never seen in the history of anything a side that lost a war and they still get to wave flags and have monuments. You have never seen it. You have never seen in the history of anything a side that lost the war and laws still get passed that reflect those ideologies. But you happen to see it here as far as, certain ideologies are concerned. The South won the Civil War, y'all. I hate to be the one to tell you it's the God's honest truth. People want to say the North won. The North didn't. Northern ideology did not win the Civil War. Jim Crow lasted for 100 years post-Civil War. The South won, y'all.
So, he makes a good point, right? Even though they got beat, they still kept it going. You still have military bases named after the Confederacy, which is a disgrace, in my opinion. You still have monuments being erected since Trump got back in office. They tore down Black Lives Matter Plaza and put up that fucking Confederate demon, Albert Pike. I'm going to go shit on him too next week. So that's the problem, because America is racist to its core. That's why you still have the Klan. That's why you have the Powerpuff Boys and the Oath Breakers and the 3%ers. Because America still wants to have a white country. That's why you have racist ass immigration officers talking shit. That's why you have racist ass slave catchers who you can see their handiwork right here. Period. So it is what it is. And so we know that America is a racist country. No matter what Sambo Scott tell you, hear me clearly. America's not a racist country. America's the most racist country on fucking earth. Period. Prove me wrong. They voted for a fat ass criminal who shits on himself uncontrollably. And it's a complete shit stain to the world over a powerful black woman. And that is replicated all throughout society. There's not one profession where you don't face racism in this country. Not fucking one. Whether you're an actor, where you out here bouncing a fucking basketball or on a football team, look, we can show you example after example of systemic racism. So we know what it is. And now you upset because we're telling you the truth. You got entire racist ass propaganda shows like Fox Fake Ass News. Fox News is the most racist fucking show in American history. Prove me wrong. All they do, every night they talk shit about black people and Mexicans. Every fucking night. They got something to say. The motherfuckers actually embrace being Nazis. Right? They embrace being called Nazis. So what do you want from me? You can't handle the truth? We're not leaving America, man. Racist ass Abraham Lincoln thought that we was gonna leave. We're not leaving shit. Just in case you wonder, you welfare queens and freeloaders wouldn't have shit without black people. And so we're gonna show you better than we can tell you. That's why the war in Iran is over with. Bitch, you already lost. You think you're gonna win a war without black people? Shit, good luck. Good luck with that shit. Come back and let us know, man. So I can tell you right now, y'all not winning shit without us. You ain't got no culture without black people. Deal with that shit. Deal with it. And now we're going to give you, like my mom used to say, I'm going to give you something to cry for.
I pledge allegiance to a flag that has never flown for me. 50 stars, 13 stripes, and 400 years of fucked up history. Lewis and Clark must have had a vision board of the millions of lives they cut out to manifest destiny. May Pocahontas haunt us for destining indigenous dreamers to die so white men could live from sea to shining sea. Injustice is perennial, just never listed as a classic, stuck on 9/11, but 11 million slaves. I'll put it in the past after you pass back our property. Before the shackles, we were sovereignty. You kidnapped kings to make them subjects of poverty. Entire empires in prison, but professors profess our past only ships and whips, as if slavery began black history as opposed to interrupted it. Surrounded by kids who will grow up to vote Republican, elephants allergic to peanuts and integration, lobbying to ensure the monkeys keep working for peanuts, pigeonholed to Title VII discrimination, mandated a graphing calculator for statistics as the man I dated graphically becomes one. My abacus fathomless of brothers handed back to heaven by a handgun. But let's not trigger nometry my tangent about how the divided states of America will try every angle to justify a plan to hypotenuse of people whose function they never wanted to be equal. No one gives you the education necessary to overthrow them. What does it mean to be book smart on authors whose dogma your human rights are opposing? That summer reading list is purposely frozen in time, antiquated as the ideals of the Klan leaders behind the teachers who chose them. I was an A+ student in an environment that was failing me. An oligarchy dressed as a decoy democracy, pimping out my pain for scholarships to predominantly white universities. Tell us how we've hurt you, and we'll give you some money. I hate pop quizzes because I don't pass a brown paper bag test on the magic school bus. Token minorities still sit in the back. Miss Frizzle gets frazzled when I tell her Jesus is black. Black boards, I mean black boys covered in white powder, because that's where the cash is. No money for lunch, but they still fund the police. They put cops in our classrooms, so it's fuck the police. White saviors did Columbine, yet it's still us on our knees. No peace for my people, so we rest in police. Okay, my good peoples, class is dismissed. Just like every kid forced to trade creativity for uniform obedience. Have fun in the recession. I mean, recess.
Whoa, let her cook. You see that, man? Black excellence. This is why they fear powerful black women. This is why they fear. If you look at Predator 2 and 25, this is why they fear powerful black women. Do you understand that shit? You can see that right there. That damn poem, man. She broke that shit down. Right? Broke that shit down like Sesame Street on. High level shit. And still we rise. Everything they threw at us. They want you to sit here and remember the fucking Holocaust and all this other bullshit. But, or they want to tell you about 9/11. But they're not going to tell you about them 2 million Africans they threw in that water in the Middle Passage. They're not going to speak on that. Right? And you can see they still love picking these weak-ass white men. Christopher Columbus. What the fuck did he discover? How to wipe out a civilization? How to commit genocide and rape against people? And y'all still continue to lie to this day and say he discovered America. He didn't discover shit. He was a horrible navigator. They stole the techniques of navigation from black Africans. Once again, because that's what demons do. Really, demons, what I will give you credit for is the lie and the patent office. That is what you've created. Everything else you fucking stole. Everything. Even the name America is from another fucking clown who could not navigate the shit. Everything is built on a lie. Everything about America is built on a motherfucking lie. Period. George Washington was a fucking slaver. Facts. Had 600 slaves. In fact, 10 out of the first 12 presidents were slavers. Only 2 wasn't. Because they were abolitionists. And those are the white people I fuck with. The ones on the John Brown energy. So just so you understand what America is, that's why they still, it's taught. One thing about that viral video I just dropped, I'm showing you in real time how white demons teach their kids how to be racist. It is passed down like a family heirloom from generation to generation to generation. That's why you still got people here crashing out, honking out in my comment section saying, blacks are worthless. Yeah, I hear you, man. Cry harder about that shit. The truth is, you and your entire family reef couldn't see me. You could not see me. I walked that path that less than 1% of Americans walk. Combat veteran. You can cry harder about that shit. 16 full-size medals. 5 operation deployments. 22 years, 11 months, and 4 days. And they still scream stolen valor. You can cry harder about it. And if you're waiting to see my DG-14, you will see my black ass instead. So continue to cry. We go speak the truth about what this country represents. And you ain't got no choice but to deal with it. Let's get it.
White people, y'all can start telling us it's not about race the day that we start finding y'all hanging from trees and your murder is marked a suicide. You can start telling us it's not about race the day that we find your bodies dismembered in the woods after you went on a friendly outing with a group of black friends, or to a sleepover and you are found dead in that person's home and no one knows what happened to you and everyone walks away scot-free. You can start telling us it's not about race when we find your sons wrapped up in mats inside the high school, and when the autopsy is done, the body parts are missing and still no justice is found and the camera footage is missing. When your son goes on a boating trip with friends and comes not back because he's drowned accidentally, but everybody is free walking around doing interviews on MAGA podcasts. And see, the funny thing is that it's not us wanting to just blame white people for this murder, because I need y'all to understand that this is not the first one. Nolan is not the first. There have been multiple this year, this month alone. Have you heard of Kyle Basinga? Have you heard of Torrance Medley? Have you heard about the 16-year-old girl in Charlotte? Or the 27-year-old in Florida? Or Gerard Jackson at the music festival? Or the 11-year-old boy in the care of his white babysitter near Lake Erie, Ohio? Have you heard of any of these? Probably not. Because that is the pattern we recognize. These stories go untold because they are marked down as no foul play. They are marked down as accidental. They are marked down as suicides. And then the world keeps turning. Justice is not served. And these people committing these crimes get to go about their day, walking around like nothing ever happened. This is why we are screaming from the rooftops about Nolan, just as we should be screaming from the rooftops about all of the rest of them. The long list, it goes back decades. But this is the pattern we recognize. This is the system working as it was intended so that we don't receive justice when harm is done to our children, to our mothers, to our brothers, to our sisters, to ourselves. It's not that we want to blame you. It's that you taught us to recognize y'all's pattern of behavior. And it's a pattern that's as old as this country. And y'all are fools if you think we're not going to recognize it. So tell me again how it's not about race when you have a group of MAGA boys going on a MAGA podcast. You have people in official places making personal phone calls and putting out statements to clear their names, centering themselves on the safety of their families in this investigation. No stories corroborating each other, lie after lie after lie. The math is not mathing. Tell us again. Because as we very well know, MAGA is obsessed with race and ensuring that the white race is the only race that gets the forefront, the center, the spotlight, the rights, and the policies in their favor. Don't be mad that we learned to recognize the pattern that y'all continue to show us.
And that's straight facts right there. Straight up. And listen, it's what it is right now. We know, I told you, the United States of America is the most racist country on earth. Everything is about race. Everything is centered on these demons. Hey, I see you out there, straight facts. What up with you? Right? And so y'all been out here doing this nonsense. And you upset that we speak in truth to power. Imagine people getting upset that a combat veteran is out here standing on the First Amendment. I thought y'all liked the First, y'all like the Second Amendment. Except when blacks do it. That's why Reagan banned the Black Panthers, right? They went back out here, even though racist ass NRA was cool with limiting the Panthers having arms because they don't want armed black liberation because y'all have to move differently. But that's all I'm about. If anybody want to be on that tip, you need to go get that book, Negroes with Guns. And they really open up your eyes to how, first of all, how racist America is. And now how even you get that shit from both sides. Right? Even the NAACP was against my man who started the, Deacons Defense. He was out there in the South. He believed in law and order. But these demons was continuing to do dirt. You had Klans shooting at black women, making them dance in the 60s, making black women dance, shooting at the ground. The sheriff, racist as fuck. Right? FBI, racist as fuck. Surprise, surprise. We've been knowing. We've been knowing. Why do you think they still have sundown towns in this country? How do you think you can have a sundown town? Because you have racist ass slave catchers that's doing it. So we go spit truth to power. No matter how many feelings it hurt, no matter how these guys get out here and start honking out in my comment section, we just go speak truth to power. Straight up. And it's forever fuck the police. Right? Fuck a slave catcher. Get a real job. Right? Because most of them demons, I'm going to show you my next clip. When we say abolish the police, that's exactly what we mean. Most people arrested on earth in America. That's what you're number one in. Damn sure number one in racism. And most of those people, black. Because America is racist. They sit here and talk shit about these immigrants. Who commits the most crime in this country? White men. White men. Who has been committing the most crimes in this country? White men. All type of dirt that you've gotten away. They just pardoned 1,600, mostly white men, who went and beat the fuck out of 5 officers, smoked them. They said, hey, well, he died of a heart attack after getting sprayed with bear mace. So they covered all that shit up and then put them on the federal payroll. Ain't that a bitch? So please, but hey, we'll let Earthquake tell y'all some more of them jokes about these MAGA demons.
You can't tell a Trump supporter nothing about Trump. Oh, you're not my Trump. They love motherfucking Trump. People ask me all the time, Quake, what kind of woman you looking for in your life? I said, nigga, I'm looking for a woman like a Trump supporter. No matter what she hear about me, that bitch don't believe shit. I heard he got another woman. That's fake news, baby. That's fake news. Don't listen to them hoes. They're the enemy of the state. These ain't jokes. I knew Trump was the pimp of all pimps, nigga, when he came here and sent the motherfuckers up here January the 6th. He told the motherfuckers, meet me here January the 6th. They came up there like he was Moses. Just stepping. I never seen so many RVs, pickup trucks, white women with no teeth. They was everywhere. And then he came out and talked. Did the speech, their old motherfucking fearless leader. Right now, they're in there trying to certify the steal. You're not doing anything. They're stealing your vote. If you allow what happened in there, you're not going to have a country. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to walk down to the Capitol and stop them. I'm going to go with you, and I'm going to meet you there. Trump went home. That nigga was at the crib just chilling. White people was going crazy, nigga. They was knocking shit over, whipping police asses, climbing all on the wall and shit. I was watching that shit on TV. All I was wishing is, ooh, I wish I was a Capitol Police working that day. If I was there, I would have been like, pat, 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 pat. What you doing? Saving democracy. Pat, 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 pat. These motherfuckers everywhere. Pat, 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 pat. You ain't gonna use your gun. Give it to me. Pat, 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 pat. Oh, there that motherfucker with that Confederate flag. Pat, 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 click, click, click. Pat, 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 pat. Oh, I would have tore their ass up. I'd have called my boy. I told you be a security guard. Pat, 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 pat. I'm shooting Trump supporters on the clock. Pat, 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 pat. Don't punch me out. I'm gonna do overtime today. Pat, 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 pat. What's your name, boy? Christopher Addicts. Pat, 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 pat. Believe me, if I was working, they would have got off them steps. Stop the steal. Pat, pat, pat. This nigga sure is. Back up, Billy Bob.
Flat. Straight facts, right? But listen, they went out here, man, and did all that shit. Hey, and he was a airman, by the way, too. I didn't even know that shit, man. A lot of people, I didn't even know the dude serve like that, man. That shit's funny as fuck, man. But you know, that explains the humor, man. That explains the humor. Look, we watched this. January 6th was one of the most televised attempted insurrection on earth. Trump orchestrated that shit. He had fake electors, all that shit. All that. And these demons forgave that shit. Right? They forgave that shit. That's how racist America is. All this shit in 4K. I thought y'all backed the blue. Not that day. They only backed the blue when the blue is beating the fuck out the black. That's it. That's the only time they talking about back the blue. When they stood for democracy, they was like, fuck the police too. Right? They dragged the other poor cop out of there, man, and would want to smoke him with his own weapon. Tased him in the neck till he lost consciousness. Ferocious, man. Gouging, eye gouging people, coming at people with all kind of crazy shit. Had weapons out in that bitch. He covering for them. AR-15s and motherfuckers out here convicted of this conspiracy. It was crazy as hell. Listen, they was fucking up them police so bad, I was rooting for the cops. And I'm fuck the police all day. On January 6th, I was rooting for them motherfucking cops. Because I knew what they was up against. Fighting for fucking democracy. Mobs out there, listen, they out here doing some 300 shit. Outnumbered. Motherfuckers coming in waves after wave, throwing shit. Cops screaming out shit, got busted and shit. People getting trampled by their own. People getting, one cop, people out there trying to save the other girl. Listen, she had a damn "Don't Tread on Me" flag and got trampled to death. Crazy shit, right? Crazy. They beat them cops to death out there and covered that shit up. Act like it didn't happen. Went back here and tried to tell. They what they say it was Antifa and BLM. Then why the hell you parting them? Why you parting all these white supremacist groups? I tell you, it's nuts, man. It is nuts, and that's why we're here. But make no mistake about it. The system of policing in this country don't do shit for the black community at all. Case in point. Hey, now, this is a black teenager. A black teenager being racially profiled on his own porch. Listen to the conversation.
Keep your fucking hands up.
I didn't do nothing. I'm a kid.
I don't give a shit.
I didn't do shit. What the fuck?
Match in the description.
Hold on, I ain't do nothing.
All right, we'll figure that out. Just give us a second, all right?
I ain't do nothing. Listen, hold on. Call my mom.
Right? So, This is what they did. Listen, you heard his response? I don't give a fuck. Hey, had the weapon on him. Had the weapon on him. They don't do shit for black people. These slave catchers are not here for the black community at all. Racist as fuck. Ain't none of that shit gonna happen to me, bro. Listen, ain't nobody pulling a weapon on me. I'm telling you flat out. So let me tell you something real quick, man, that you don't understand. I'm gonna tell you why slave catchers not gonna draw down on me. Because just like the Not Fucking Around coalition, I'm heavily armed in this bitch. I'm heavily armed. Shit. And we know that them cowards is not gonna be down for no real firefight. One kid in Uvalde, Texas, held the motherfuckers back. One kid held them back with an AR. Now, how much shit you think I got? I got multiple times what he got. And I'm trained how to use that shit. So, ain't nobody coming for me like that. Not without this bitch turning into Mogadishu. And that's why every black man, woman, and child needs to be armed in this bitch. So, you can believe in whatever you want. Ain't nothing wrong. Hey, if you waiting on Jesus and the Holy Spirit, ain't nothing wrong with that. But you better have that sword of spirit with you. Because these demons are out here for you. They have declared war on black people. Right? That's why they still got the lynching Olympics to this day. And remember, how many people have been prosecuted for lynching in this country? How many people have been prosecuted for the crime of lynching? TikTok knows. Hey, TikTok knows. And the folks on TikTok, they be knowing. For everybody else catching up, that answer is 0. Not a damn one. There you go. All right, let's get it.
So, y'all remember this?
You might remember this officer's 2-minute rant that made its rounds on social media. 13 Investigates learned from her suspension letter that Gonzalez posted this to her personal Instagram account after the DA's office told us that she was not linked to any cases. And we found dozens of cases Gonzalez was listed in, and we sent a list of 10 over to the DA's office. After we sent that list over, they searched again and they did find cases, leading to the Brady notices that were sent out. District Attorney's Office confirmed to 13 Investigates that they've already issued 75 Brady notices in pending cases tied to Ashley Gonzalez. They intend to issue about 100 more this week.
So you see that shit? Ashley Gonzalez, after she went on that big ass N-word rant and monkeys and all this shit, the racist ass cops still tried to cover for her and said she wasn't involved in no cases. And when the reporters followed back up, turns out her ass was involved in 100. So when I tell you there are no good cops, that's what the fuck I'm talking about. This system itself is racist as fuck. The only reason she gone is because motherfuckers were on their ass down there in Texas. And people out here protesting this shit. And the word got out. The police department in the United States of America is one of the most racist organizations on earth. Period. I've had more police officers point their weapon at me than enemy soldiers. And that's just a fact. And if anybody grew up in Long Beach, California, in the crack 80s and drive-by 90s, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. You always fit the description. Right? That's the same thing they tell you. They fit the description. While they wait to take your life over some bullshit. Just look at their handiwork. Look at their handiwork, man. Right? Look at their handiwork. This is what these people do. The cops did this shit. Right? How did George Floyd lose his life? Let the racist ass demons tell you. He overdosed. When you got live camera footage of how that man lost his life. Racist ass slave catcher with his knee on his neck for 9 minutes and 29 seconds. And they still want to pardon him. They still want to get that white officer off somehow. That is how racist the country is.
Keep in mind, a Brady file being filed within a case doesn't mean that something's been done incorrectly or that she did something wrong. It just notifies the lawyers that, hey, you need to look into this again. And And how did they miss so many cases that Ashley Gonzalez was a part of when they did the Brady notice within the system? Apparently, there was a glitch in the search engine. Okay. Whatever you guys want us to believe.
Straight up, right? So when I tell you that policing in the United States of America does nothing for the black community, not a damn thing. Sundown towns are maintained by slave catchers. Lynchings are covered up by slave catchers. You don't believe me, man? They've been out here saying all this shit. Look at Rodney King, how they beat his ass. Look at all of the uprisings, the Detroit uprisings in the 60s, the LA riots. Shit, right there, before I joined the army after the LA riots. Every time you had a corrupt ass slave catchers in there. Chief Daryl Gates, one of the most racist fucking police chiefs in American history. LAPD still out here executing Mexican people. Hey, listen, cop hopped out the car. The dude had his cell phone, walking, talking to his girl. One cop came out and blasted him. Other cop got out the car. He already on the ground. He just kept pumping him. Bow, 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 bow. Still on the force. Still on the fucking force. Abolish the slave catchers. Abolish the slave catchers. The only thing these racist ass police will go do, they go take the military weapons that's out there that was used against Al Qaeda and all this shit in these wars and come back and do the same thing to you. You don't believe me? Go research the MOVE bombing. Right? A second time America bombed a city from the air. First time they did it, Black Wall Street. This time they used satchel charges from Vietnam. Dropped in on a block and let the shit burn in 1986. Let the fucking block burn. They fired 10,000 rounds. 10,000 rounds into that house. A fucking war. Right? It's not even a war because a war has two sides. It was a straight genocide. It was a straight genocide. A state-sponsored genocide against black people. Then they stole the bodies because America loved that shit. They stole the bodies and let them do research on it and shit. So please, man, if you want to tell me about crime in America, I present to you the white man. The most diabolical villain in human history. White males in the United States of America. The most diabolical motherfuckers in history. Fed us to alligators. Ate us like they ate Nat Turner. Complete savagery. And they still lie to your face to this day. And try to blame everybody else. So come on, man. We just keep it at 100. You can act like the savages you are, but don't be mad when you called out for being a savage. Went into the House of Congress, man. Went into fucking the halls of Congress and shit in the Capitol. I had secret clearances. And I wasn't allowed back there at Pelosi's desk. After serving this country, man, for 22 years, 11 months, 4 days. They didn't let my black ass go back there. But you fucking toothless demons went here and attacked the fucking Capitol in broad daylight, man. Exposed America's hypocrisy to the world. General Milley had to call the Chinese and say, hey, listen, we're not going to do nothing. We're going to stand down. So it is what it is, man. It's crazy as fuck. And you still lie. But hold on, wait. But wait, you want more receipts of why we should get rid of these slave catchers? Here you go.
It's the last thing I can say nigga without getting shot.
1, 2, 3, nigga! Now this is Deputy Slayball. These are the type of people they like to hire for law enforcement. This guy beat and tased a black woman because...
Oh, hold up. Somebody in my comments honking out, they said, George Floyd, 6 years sober. Ashley Babbitt, she quiet as fuck, huh? Rush Limbaugh, he quiet as fuck. Your boy, Charlie Kirk. I heard he leaning left now. Yeah. He lost that gun debate by a long shot. Facts on facts on facts. You can go cry harder about that. Let's get it.
He ordered her to take her breast out so she can take a picture of it. Now I made a video asking why.
Hold on. Somebody said, why would I wear a shirt with his face? to show the crimes that you demons do, to show you that slave catchers ain't shit. That's why. Why would you tell me Charlie Kirk is a hero? Why the fuck would you lower the flag for that demon? Charlie Kirk can't even see my military career. Charlie Kirk was straight racist as fuck till the day he got smoked by another racist white dude. So what are we talking about? If you can idolize fucking Charlie Kirk and Rush stinking ass Limbaugh and Lindsey Graham, who got his asshole torn out on the regular, right? Who was a raging homophobe and transphobe, but he loved the dick. Everybody dicked him down in Washington, D.C. because the Republican Party is a party of hypocrites. I wear this shirt because this is what you do. This is white on black crime, right? Look how you did Ahmaud Arbery. Hunted this boy down like he was wild game out there. So this is your handiwork. We memorialize the people because y'all don't give a fuck, right? You can't even tell us the truth of how George Floyd died. So please, man, just say you racist. Just get the swastika in your forehead and get the fucking Confederate flag on your shoulder. That way we know who you are. I don't give a damn. Hey, this is America. You pick your side. If you for the Klan, just say that shit. If you a white supremacist, just say that shit. If you think you gonna win the second Civil War, just say that shit. And we'll prove you wrong again. We kicked the Confederacy ass. And clearly we didn't go far enough. We did not go far enough. That's why you still got Confederate statues out here. We did not go far enough. That's why they still carried the Confederate flag inside the rotunda January 6th. We did not go far enough. That's why Little Dick Demons was out here marching in the 250th anniversary of this fucking country's independence, while you had Confederate flags in D.C. Own that shit. If you repping for the Confederacy, just say that. I'm Union Gang all day. I'm the Antifa field commander. I don't hide behind the mask. I keep that energy. I keep it here and I keep it out here in these streets. That should be the standard. You rep whatever you want. If you repping for the Confederacy, just say that shit. I'm repping for the Union, and I'm repping for Black liberation, and I'm willing to stand 10 toes down on that. All right, now let's get back into this shit with how these slave catchers are doing all the. Remember, the first slave catcher they show here, before he became a cop, he said this the last night I could say the N-word, and he screamed that shit. They got him on tape. Now he assaulting a black woman right here and sexually assaulting her. Let me go back so y'all can get some more of that story before we so rudely interrupted. Let me run that back from the top and shit.
These are the type of people they like to hire for law enforcement. This guy beat and tased a black woman because he ordered her to take her breast out so she can take a picture of it. Now I made a video asking why gang members don't beef with white supremacy. And one of the comments under my video was white supremacy doesn't exist. I can't believe this shit.
You said nigga without getting shot.
1, 2, 3,
Nigga!
I wonder what would entice an individual like this to work for Portage County Sheriff's Office. It wouldn't be the mentality the sheriff himself promotes, would it?
This is definitely the type of behavior that the sheriff of that department promotes. This is Sheriff Bruce Zachowski. This is the type of things he promotes on his.
Now listen, you got the sheriff saying, I'm back, right? And when he said back, he spelled that shit with 3 Ks. The sheriff is telling you, Bruce Zawadzki, whatever his last name is out here openly on that Klan shit. He said, I'm back in all caps with 3 Ks in that shit. And the American flag. So this is why America will not outlaw the Ku Klux Klan. Because you will have to arrest that sheriff. You have to arrest these fucking PO officers. You will have to arrest many of the police officers and slave catchers in this country. You will have to arrest people on Capitol Hill. Motherfuckers in the Supreme Court. Because America is a racist fucking country. At least admit that shit. Quit lying. Because the lies don't work no more. You're not very good at it. Your ancestors did it better. Technology caught up to your asses. You are fucking racist. The police department is racist. They are here to keep you segregated by race. The war on drugs was nothing but a war on black and brown people. Facts. The fucking CIA is the biggest drug dealers on earth. Go look up Operation Midnight Climax. Go look up MK Ultra. The biggest fucking dope dealers on earth. Gave that shit out, slipped it up on people. Motherfuck the federal government. Hypocrisy, man. The CIA ought to be obliterated. They never got one war right. Weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. Saying that the Chinese will say out of the Korean War. They sent hundreds of men to their death behind enemy lines. And now you got the fattest, most racist president in history up in there, shitting on himself, farting to stay awake. His body is being degraded in real time, and y'all still hold him up like he fucking Jim Crow Jesus. Come on, man. If you racist, just say that shit. You ain't gotta lie no more. Trump has made you bold, own it. Say, hell yeah, I'm a Nazi. Hell yeah, I'm a racist. And that's cool. Let the battle lines be drawn. Because I don't need no mask. Hell, I've been out there, been swatted twice. Not going nowhere, man. I'm standing 10 toes down on black liberation. All day. It's forever fuck Trump. Forever fuck ICE. That's not going to change. And I make the point again. You do not need policing, especially black communities. We are just fine without the police. We don't need slave catchers, especially when you got racist ass sheriffs that give a shout out to the Ku Klux Klan. But let's get it.
Facebook. Y'all notice those 3 Ks? Or I'm bugging. Here he is on his free time at some kind of rally. And what kind of rally that is.
Now, if you see a cop on Fox News, you know he racist. If you see a black cop on Fox News, you know he a buck dance for white supremacy. Because that's where the racists go. Fox fake news is their safe space. Twitter is their safe space. That's where they go. So if you see people making the rounds on Fox fake ass news, OAN Newsmax, that's where the racists hang out. They racist. Elon Musk so racist, he had to go out here and get Grok, right? Grok was calling that shit straight. He said, Grok ain't racist enough. They had to change his algorithm. But I will tell you this, for everybody calling me Stolen Valor on Twitter, hey, Grok said that I'm a 22-year combat veteran. So even your racist ass AI recognize real. So, hey, you ain't got to listen to me. Listen to your racist ass AI bot tell you what I am. And I don't have a Twitter account. I left Twitter. The moment that Nazi took over, I burned my shit and walked away. So any videos they got over there, they promoting that shit. They can have it. I have nothing to do with Twitter. Let that shit go to the wayside. I don't give a fuck about Twitter. Let's get it.
The woman was no criminal. She was a college student, a college track star at that, brought championships home for her college. She was visiting her sister, and there was no reason for this cop to physically assault her, sexually assault her, and then tase her after that. This is fucking bullshit.
Straight up. So we can show you example after example after example of how slave catchers in America dehumanize black people. That's especially in the South. They let you do all types of shit. They trying to bring back lynching. So every black person needs to be prepared. Of course, you got to vote. Our ancestors gave up too much for us to vote. You got to rock that shit as much as you can. But also be prepared. That's not your only weapon you have. You have to be prepared to defend yourself. Because you know how these savages work. They are their ancestors. Right? Look how they celebrate Black Death. These people took their children to lynchings. How sick is that? They took their children to watch us be lynched. And got the fucking caucasity to call us savages. Oh, the projection. Right? They deflected like damn the Starship Enterprise. Deflector shields and Maximum. Miss me with that shit, man. So if you want to talk about crime, that is white people shit. Nobody committed more crimes in this continent than white people, and probably on Earth. But if you want to talk about real American history, let's talk about them lynching. The lynching Olympics of 1919, the Red Summer. Let's talk about how they destroyed hundreds of black cities across this country, killed hundreds of thousands of black people, overthrew the fucking government. Hey, they had successful overthrows of the government. And now you have a president who says he's the most powerful president in history. I'm going to play a clip for my next clip up here from the book, Regime Change. Donald Trump says he's the most powerful president in history. Let's get into it.
2 days after the Netanyahu visit, Trump began a meeting with Elon Musk and the influential podcaster and former Fox News host Tucker Carlson by showing them what the Israeli leader had brought him. "Don't push the button," Trump joked as he pulled the gold pager from his desk and handed it over. Musk was transfixed by the device, staring at it intently, silently working it between his fingers like a Rubik's Cube. Trump then regaled them with horror stories of the destruction that the explosions had wrought. He had seen pictures, he said, mutilated genitals and missing hands. He was horrified by the injuries, but fascinated as well, lingering on the scenes and the details. One survivor, he said, looked like a great white came and just took a chunk out of him. It was like a shark bite. It was horrible. He grew voluble, repeating, "It's horrible, horrible." And there was something else that captivated him. Many of the devices had detonated in public, and it was hard to know who was holding a pager when it exploded. The indiscriminate nature of the killing and maiming had shocked Trump, and while he was taken by the ingenuity, he showed a measure of disbelief at its recklessness. He seemed at once enthralled and horrified. As Musk continued to fiddle with the pager, Carlson got to the subject he had come to talk about. He was afraid Trump might be persuaded to go to war with Iran, especially in the wake of Netanyahu's lobbying mission, and Carlson intended to exert every ounce of his influence on Trump to ensure it didn't happen. The two men had had an up-and-down relationship over many years. Trump had respected Carlson's star power when he hosted the highest-rated show on Fox News, but it was not all smooth sailing. In text messages that were released during a defamation case between Dominion Voting Systems and Fox News over coverage of 2020 election conspiracies, Carlson had written that he hated Trump passionately, that he was a destroyer and a demonic force. Trump was said to have been upset by this, but the two quickly made up and Carlson went all in for Trump's 2024 campaign, even speaking on his behalf at the Republican convention. Trump continued to solicit Carlson's advice, believing he still had sway over a significant portion of the base. Carlson had previously criticized Trump for refusing to knock Netanyahu over the Gaza carnage. Now he would make clear to the president that a broader war would be his ruin. "They want you to go to war with Iran," Carlson said. "We're not doing that," Trump answered. "Good, because the only thing that can blow up your administration is if you get into a war with Iran," Carlson said. "Your voters don't want any more wars. You ran on that. That's the main reason people voted for you in 2016. That's what set you apart from the pack. You changed the Republican Party. And the people who didn't want to change are now trying to lure you into a trap. This is a trap set by your enemies. These people fucking hate you, and once you get in, it's very hard to get out of it. And that'll wreck your presidency. That'll wreck everything. You won't be able to do anything."
Now, Tucker Carlson is trying to get him to back down from the Iran war. And I have no love for that white supremacist. This is before he left Trump and started that America First bullshit. So he was warned, right? He's warned by his own people that there's no good outcome in Iran. Now listen to Trump's response.
"I don't think there's ever been an American president as powerful as I am," Trump said later in the conversation.
So he telling you right there is no one more powerful than him. And he's not fucking wrong.
Struck by this hubris, Carlson replied, "Certainly not since FDR."
So if I'm listening to regime change, right? Regime change is by these reporters, Maggie Haberman and Jonathan Swan. I downloaded the audiobook and listened to it. So I did it because they got the exact, listen, they're embedded. Notice Trump is not saying shit bad against them because they are embedded. It's coming from the reporters from his administration. So it's facts. They're reporting exactly what they saw and heard. And the reason why Trump is the most powerful president is because they allow him to be. Just so we're clear about that. Congress has allowed him to become the most powerful president. The corrupt-ass Supreme Court has empowered him to commit hella crimes.
Really, the only thing that could wreck it is war with Iran.
Remember when we kidnapped the president?
So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Look at what we happen to hear. And the reason why I tell you that Trump is not wrong, look at the crimes they let him get away with. Even after his first administration, insurrection in 4K. The only president to be impeached twice. He beat both them shits. He shows you that impeachment really ain't shit. No president has ever been impeached and removed. Ever. Ever. And with Trump, it shows you it never will happen. Because if you can't be impeached and removed for insurrection, then what the fuck? And the Supreme Court has said, we don't give a fuck. We're going to make him a king. Remember, they made Biden the king first, though. Biden had the king powers, but he transferred power to Trump. Instead of fucking exposing Elon's corruption and interference on our election, they folded and handed power off to a dictator, a wannabe dictator. And so that's why we're here. That's why you have all this shit that's happening right now. I'm going to show you right now from these content creators, this is just a portion of the crimes that he's committing. A small fucking portion of the crimes that Trump is committing in broad daylight and getting away with.
Venezuela and his wife, and they have now been in prison for 6 months here, and also stole all of their oil and all of the money from it. And then Trump put that money in his personal bank account in Qatar. And then when they asked Marco Rubio where 13 billion of that went, he said that he'll let us know, and then never did. And now Marco Rubio runs Venezuela's finances. And then we just killed a ton of random innocent people in the Caribbean for being on boats in the Caribbean. But they're the drug cartel. They actually weren't. And then we assassinated a bunch of Iranian leaders, including their children, so that the people could take back Iran, and then gave no opportunity for the people to actually take back their power. And then instead decided to bomb the very people that they were trying to give power back to. And then just 8 months went by since releasing millions of the Epstein files, and we've seen 0 arrests here in America. It's hard to keep track of all the horrors when there's 13 new ones every day, but that is their plan. Flood the fucking system, and then nobody can focus on a few individual problems to solve them. So we keep bringing it up. We keep talking about it. We keep demanding accountability because one of these days we'll have it. And all of this shit will be documented and slapped right into our history books, baby. Because you don't know you're in a world war until it's over, bitch. And I laugh to cope because this shit is genuinely ridiculous, not because it's funny. And don't forget, bestie, you still gotta live your life. You still gotta go out there and experience joy. You still gotta connect with people and form your relationships because that is what is going to keep us together. I promise you, your joy is resistance. Follow me for more information. I'll see you next time.
Straight up. So that's a fraction of what Trump is doing. All type of criminal behavior. When I tell you, you put a criminal, Trump was a 34-time convicted felon when he became president. And what did he do? He turned the United States government into the largest crime syndicate on earth. They literally do what the fuck they want to. They answer to no one. Congress has abandoned their duty to serve as a check on power. The Supreme Court is bought and paid for by right-wing billionaires. And the grift and the criminality continues. Let's get it.
Make no mistake about it. This is a historic defeat for the United States. And brings me no joy to say it. Zero joy. It's actually quite painful to say, but it is true. This is an unequivocal defeat. We had a scenario where now we were all in it. We had a military posture in these places. We've been beaten out of our facilities. We had an alliance with the GCC countries that was, you work with us, we'll provide security. We didn't do it. And not only did we not do it because we didn't do it because we couldn't do it. And part of the reason why we couldn't do it is because we depleted our own reserves to protect Israel more than Israel depleted their own reserves. We then also completely damaged our relationship with our Asian allies, taking out THAAD radar systems and others, which changes our force posture there, to say nothing of what this situation has required the Korean and the Japanese government to do, and then directly working with you. They had to cut a deal. They had to cut deals with the Iranian government in the way that they did, and what this might do to undermine the petrodollar, among a number of other problems, which is that the Strait of Hormuz will eventually be opened. It will never be opened the way it was before. The Iranians now control this channel in a way that they never did. None of that will change. None of that can be fixed. None of that is ever going back. This is historic defeat for us. We're just waiting to see exactly what ways it's as bad as it could be, or maybe not in some other respects. That's it. It's over. Robert Kagan, who is not a guy whose analysis I would ordinarily share, he's been a big neocon. He has an article about this where he has thought this whole thing through and showed it. It's over. It's over. The whole thing is over. We can't win. We didn't win. And now the only question is, how bad is the damage?
Facts. Do you understand? A war that nobody wanted. Iran is a disaster, Baku, period, because you have people who don't know what the fuck they're doing. They've given up, even to get back to the day before we went to war with Iran, it will cost us over $200 billion to get back to that point. Over $200 billion. Easily between 1.5 and $2 trillion of damage done worldwide. And where is America at? Where is America at with this fucking war? A war that has not been authorized by Congress. A war that does not help America. Sons and daughters coming home in fucking body bags. For what? For what? Name one fucking positive thing. Eggs higher. The price of eggs higher. Gasoline higher. Energy costs damn near double. I know mine personally have. The Iranians are coming out of this stronger worldwide. America's the one that's losing because white people put the worst white people in charge. Donald Trump is the very worst white person in the country to be running it. He is a criminal. The only place he belongs is in Rikers Island. Everything is suffering. Everybody is taking hits, except for him and his greedy ass sycophants. That's what it is. So when Trump tells you he's the most powerful president, he ain't lying, because the system is fucking corrupt. It's one giant money laundering scheme. Everything he touches turns to shit. But don't worry. Hey, you know how they say, but wait, there's more.
Some shit went down in a DC courthouse yesterday that no one's talking about, and I'm still fucking shaking. A federal judge vacated the seditious conspiracy conviction of Stewart Rhodes, the founder of the Oath Keepers, one of the most dangerous figures convicted in connection with J6. Rhodes was convicted of conspiring to use force to stop the lawful transfer of presidential power. Evidence showed that Rhodes and his co-conspirators stashed weapons just outside D.C. and prepared to use force, including lethal force, to stop that transfer of power. He was sentenced to 18 years in prison. After Rhodes' conviction, he not only showed no remorse, he said his one regret was not bringing rifles to J6. Judge Amit Mehta, who presided over the case and sentenced Rhodes, called him a profound threat to democracy. Yesterday, that same judge, powerless to do otherwise, granted the DOJ's request to vacate Rhodes' conviction. Think about that. A jury convicted him, a judge sentenced him to 18 years, and then the DOJ came back and asked that the conviction be erased for no reason. As Judge Mehta made clear, there was no fault with the evidence, no mistakes made by the prosecution. Vacating a conviction is different from a pardon. It's better for the defendant. A pardon forgives a conviction. A vacatur removes the conviction. Stewart Rhodes is no longer a convicted felon. He's no longer prohibited from going to D.C. or from owning firearms. Now here's the question. Who made this decision? When Trump took office, he pardoned 1,500 J6 defendants, but there was a group of 14 defendants whose sentences he commuted. When asked why he chose to commute rather than pardon those 14, here's what Trump said.
Because it looks like they could have done things that were not acceptable for a full pardon.
So, Mr. President, if these defendants did things that were not appropriate for a full pardon, like conspiring to use lethal force to prevent the peaceful transfer of power, what changed? Why did you go from saying these defendants were not appropriate for full pardons to taking the extraordinary step of vacating their convictions? You've said your administration is the most transparent in history. Then tell the American people who ordered the vacatur of Stewart Rhodes' conviction and why. The peaceful transfer of power is not a partisan issue. It's the foundation of our democracy. And when the government erases one of the most significant J6 convictions in American history, the American people deserve answers. Forward this post to your elected representatives and ask them, now that the deterrent has been removed, what's to keep armed enemies of democracy from showing up at our polling places in November? Share, post, and stay outraged. And follow me on Substack.
So, I don't want to hear shit about Law and Order ever again. Ever again. Seditious conspiracy is one of the most, it's the most severe thing you can be convicted of. It is extremely difficult to be convicted of it, by the way. All my stuff is shareable. If you guys want the entire live stream, I am streaming on Substack. The highlights will be there, but the video in full is also on my YouTube channel, Armed Black Liberation, and it's on my Twitch channel, U.S. Army Overlord. I'll make sure they're available for download tonight. So you can go back and get this information. So the worst white criminals, remember, they gave some people 100 years down there in Texas, and they didn't attack the Capitol and kill police officers. No one died in that incident. There's this whole war on Antifa. The government shows you how fucking corrupt they are. I don't ever want to hear shit about black on black crime because nobody does crime like you demons. This man participated. The oath breakers or treasonous scums, One-Eyed Jack was a stranger. Oh, hey, he blew his own eye out. That's how fucking incompetent he was. I wish we would have took the rifles too, because if they started smoking officers, that would have forced a firefight, and they would have had to eat up more of them dudes. I wish they would have took the weapons in there and started opening up on them. But y'all forgave all that shit. This is why these demons cannot be trusted. You cannot trust these demons. They forgave an insurrection in 4K because that's what savages do. They go protect other savages. You smoked police officers in real time. We watched it. I live streamed the shit. I was out here live streaming it. That's why I caught my first live ban on TikTok. Fucking Black Hawk helicopters flew over my house as I was giving the play-by-play of what's going on. How the National Guard should have been down there, but they wasn't. There was no National Guard response. Why people was whooping the fuck out of the cops and overwhelming them. So it shows you they don't care about crime. They don't care about crime. Hold on, man. Let me help you out. So I'm here talking about this. You telling me it's a wild shirt? What's wild about it? Right? Hold on. I got you. What's wild about this shirt? Right? The fact that slave catchers murdered these black people, that's wild to you? The fact that this man right here had a racist ass demon put his knee on his neck for 9 minutes and 29 seconds? And I bet your ass say this is Law and Order. When I just showed your ass that y'all don't give a fuck about Law and Order. You don't care about Law and Order, demons? So, if you are a racist white supremacist, just say that. If you support the Confederacy, just say that. If you hate black and brown people and women and the trans community, just say that shit. Get the tattoo on your arm. Say it loud and proud. Just don't be no chicken shit coward and hide behind a fucking mask. Own that shit. Don't come in here with no fake ass profile. If you came in here with a real profile and you want to have this conversation, then we can have that conversation. But don't come in here on this bullshit because y'all shook. I told you I match and exceed energy. Flat out. This administration is the most corrupt administration in human history as far as the United States goes. Donald Trump has always been a white supremacist and a fucking criminal. And the worst of us. And y'all made his ass president twice. Voted for his ass 3 times. You are beyond redemption. If you voted for Trump 3 times in a row, you are beyond redemption. I don't give a fuck about your stories. I don't care what you regret. You knew what he was. And because your hatred of black people is so deep, a woman who was qualified, who held all 3 branches of government, who would have made your life far better if you voted for her. You still could have been racist as fuck. If you would have voted for Kamala, you'd have more money in your pocket. We wouldn't be in this worthless ass war with Iran. They wouldn't be snatching up people. Farmers would not be going bankrupt. You would not have some shit out virus, some virus that make you shit your damn drawers off in the lettuce right now. You wouldn't have all these old school diseases that we beat making a comeback. We would still have our best scientists and generals in the military. All this shit, racism is expensive. Somebody's like, Kamala was trash. Tell me what's trash about Kamala and go. Tell me one trash thing about Kamala Harris and go. See, I'm day one Kamala. I was day one Kamala supporter. I knew what she was about. Come on, man. They on that bullshit. It's a night and day difference between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. The only reason why she lost that election, and I'll never believe it, is because of racism and misogyny. If you tell me this old ass white dude who had an insurrection in 2020, now he magically won all the swing states, every fucking last one of them, now he won it. Come on. I would never believe that. I've been to Kamala rallies. Trump couldn't even stay awake in his own shit. Trump is really just a rotting corpse in broad daylight, just rotting in front of you. And y'all still out here making it like he a king. Y'all still running around with tattoos in your upper thigh meat. That's crazy work. But hey, you do you. But we're going to talk about more of the criminal shit. Let's get into it.
18-year-old sailor jumped off the USS Abraham Lincoln. He was in the water for about an hour before he was rescued after an apparent suicide attempt. I was a Marine on the USS Rushmore in that same part of the world in 1994. The longest we went without a port call was 5 weeks. The Lincoln had been at sea for 207 days without a port call. That's a record. After about 5 weeks, the ship smells rancid, body odor, and stale farts. Everybody's fuse is about an inch long. And you keep counting the days until you're back in port over and over, like somehow the math is going to work out differently the next time. But we always knew the end date. Near the end of our deployment, we were headed for Australia. Then one night, the alarm goes off. Saddam Hussein was moving troops back toward the Kuwaiti border. Our ships turned around and went back to the Gulf. I walked around checking on my Marines. I watched their morale evaporate in real time from their faces. You can endure an awful lot if you know the end date. Take the end date away and something changes. When I joined the Marine Corps, the commandant was General Al Gray. He used to quote Lejeune, "You owe it to your Marines to make sure every one of them leaves you stronger, morally, mentally, and physically than when they came to you." That's not suggestion. That's the job. Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, for now, says reports of conditions aboard the Lincoln were completely misrepresented. But let's look at what's been reported. 207 days at sea, plumbing failures, food and supply shortages, and reports of multiple sailors attempting to go overboard. Those sailors aren't weak. They're looking for leadership. And when you ask people to endure extraordinary conditions indefinitely for a war without congressional authorization, without a clearly defined end goal, that's not a failure of the sailors. That's a failure of leadership.
Straight up.
How many?
Straight up, man. It is a colossal disaster. Somebody dropped in the comments, never forget the USS Liberty. I got whole videos discussing what happened to USS Liberty. The real question is it America first or Israel first? Is it America first or Israel first? This war does not help America at all. It does help Benjamin Netanyahu and his genocide and ass IDF. It helps them, but it don't help us. fuck has a foreign country got so much control over our politics? Where you at, CIA? Where is our 3 other agencies? This is your job, to defend America from foreign influence. How the fuck did you let us get caught like this again? So the chickens are coming home to roost. The CIA has interfered with countless fucking elections around. And now they failed to stop it here. Both parties bend the knee to Benjamin Netanyahu, which is crazy work. Because Benjamin Netanyahu is a motherfucking racist. They can't stand black people over there. You got a white ethno state that's committing genocide against its brown neighbors. Facts. And the U.S. government is in bed with them. And they always have been. I don't want to hear shit about this Gaza shit. They've been in bed with Israel. They've been in bed. They gave them fucking nuclear weapons. Let them attack the USS Liberty, man. Smoked all them sailors. And then condemned the sailors to silence. They turned the help back around after they got shot up and blown up. You've let this foreign country, all this money go into this fucking country, man. And they got universal health care. You got states so poor, they can't even get their fucking roads fixed. You got people living all in one fucking shack like migrants because they can't even, they got to all pool together to get their food together. And they still giving Israel millions, hundreds of millions from Arkansas, hundreds of millions. $150 million to Israel. What the fuck is wrong with America? You lie about everything. That's why we're in this predicament. But if you're that outraged, look at how much life that this man has cost. Hold on, I got you right here. Let me pull this up one real quick. Let y'all see this next video.
Attempting to go overboard. Those sailors aren't weak. They're looking for leadership. And when you ask people to endure extraordinary conditions indefinitely for a war without congressional authorization, without a clearly defined end goal, that's not a failure of the sailors. That's a failure of leadership.
How many people have died from the Trump administration's cuts to USAID? We know that number, but how many would it take to spark national outrage? Sometimes the loss of just one life is enough to spark that outrage, especially when we identify with the victim, when they look like us. It hits close to home. But the people who died from USAID cuts were far away. 10-year-old Abdullah Ibrahim died of an asthma attack after we abruptly stopped paying for his inhalers. 8-year-old Ibrahim Garba died of typhoid fever because the world's richest country stopped paying for antibiotics. 16-year-old Purity Wamboy died because the world's richest man cut the public health services that would have helped catch her tuberculosis before it was too late. Evan Anzu was an HIV-positive 5-year-old orphan in South Sudan. He couldn't get medication on his own, so the United States paid for it, and it had been keeping him alive. It cost us 12 cents a day. We cut that off too, and he died. But these children aren't household names, and when Marco Rubio said no children were dying on his watch, we let him get away with it. So how many deaths would it take to spark national outrage? If we lost 3,000 people, would that be enough? That's how many we lost on 9/11. How about 50 or 60,000? The number of American troops we lost in the Vietnam War. What if the number of deaths were equal to the combined total of all American combat deaths in all of the wars in our nation's history? 650,000 deaths. Would that get our attention? Because we do have a number of the deaths attributable to the USAID cuts. Men, women, and yes, children. That number is 700,000.
There you go. 700,000. Can somebody tell me why America does not care that 700,000 people have lost their life after they destroyed illegally U.S. aid? Can anybody tell me that question? Why do they not care about 700,000 people? Why does America not care about those 700,000? Bam, there you go. Because they're black. Because they're black. They don't give a fuck about. This is why they talk so much shit about Adolf Hitler. But they avoid talking about that Belgium who wiped out millions and millions. Like between 10 and 20 million in the rubber plantations in Africa. Because they are racist, right? They are racist. People are racist in this country. They don't give a fuck about black people, man. That's why you still have lynching. But they want you to, they want to continue to talk about 9/11. Come on, man. And the CIA did not get that right either. The CIA is worthless. Could not even stop the largest terror attack on U.S. soil. And y'all still giving them billions of dollars. Another racist organization. That is why. So we gonna speak the truth. As much as it upsets people, we gonna speak truth to power. And I have that right. I serve this country. Serve this country, man. I walked that path. 22 years, 11 months, and 4 days, man. And racist ass demons didn't even rip to me while I was in Indiana. Racist ass demons, they were so racist I couldn't even leave the base in 93 in Fort Leonard Wood. The drill sergeants told me it's not safe to leave the base. In 1993. In 2012, and in 2009 and 10 when I was in Indiana, motherfuckers would not rent to me, even though I had double the money. Racist demons would not rent to me. A soldier with 4 combat deployments under my belt. Please don't ever tell me that this country is not fucking racist. The United States of America is the most racist country on earth. And I will show you receipt after receipt to back up my claim. It is the most racist country on earth. They put a black man in there, a mixed black man as president, and then lost their fucking mind. And remember, the majority of white people did not vote for Barack Obama. Not the first time, not the second time. The majority of white people in America abandoned the Democratic Party forever after they passed the Civil Rights Voting Act, or Civil Rights Act in the 60s. The moment that we got the right to vote, the majority of white people never voted for the Democratic Party again, ever, in a presidential election. Ever again. They never had the popular vote. Or they never had the majority of white people. So just so we know how embedded racism is in this country. And those are facts. Hey, for the party that says facts over feelings, those are facts. Just own that. So when we tell you that America's racist, it is. You have whole racist ass propaganda machines. OAN, One American News, Newsmax, Fox fake ass news. You have billionaires that's running the country right now. Racist ass billionaires. And they're enriching themselves and making you fight over scraps. You can't even get universal fucking health care while you made a Nazi a trillionaire briefly. And that should upset everyone. Listen, I get that racism is not a deal breaker for a lot of white people, but open corruption should be. Your taxpayer dollars are funding genocides all over the world now. Your taxpayer dollars are funding Trump's personal bank account while he enriches his fucking family. Your taxpayer dollars has made Elon Trump the world's richest Nazi. While you can't do nothing. While your Mima lost her fucking Medicare coverage. While we have to fundraise for veterans who can't afford medication or fucking food. You should be outraged for that shit. They have made your life significantly worse. You can hate my black ass all day. I don't give a fuck. But you should care about the future of your own fucking country. You cannot tell me with a straight face that Donald Trump is the best you got. You cannot tell me that Pete WhiskeyLeaks Hegseth, a man who got more experience raping white women than he does leading soldiers, is the best person to lead the Department of Defense. You can't tell me that with a straight face. RFK anti-vaccine ass. At some point, you're going to have to wake up. At some point, you got to wake up, man. You go feel that shit. It's go get worse. Mark my words. Save this live stream. When that big ass nasty bill takes place next year and you really start feeling that shit, right? When your shit, when them AI centers, them AI data centers really start kicking your ass. It's kicking my ass right now. My light bill is $700 fucking dollars. $700 here in Virginia. Virginia, we got the most AI. We the AI data capital of America right now, and it's a fucking nightmare. Flock cameras everywhere. Big brother spying on you. And you can't even afford a decent meal? So that's what we are, guys. I'll be here the rest of the week. I'm just really ashamed that we've let it get this bad, but somebody got to continue to speak the truth. Continue to speak the truth, guys, and resist. Resist at every level. And remember, boys and girls, whether it takes 10 months or 10 years, we must be absolutely relentless in our fight against the white delusion of white supremacy.
1713. On the ship Henrietta Marie, chained Africans crossed the Atlantic with no room to stand. Many died before land appeared. Their bodies were thrown into the ocean behind the ship. The ocean saw.
Listen to this closely.
This happened to your bloodline.
This was planned for profit.
Your ancestors still survived it.
The water remembers your ancestors' names. Millions crossed the Atlantic in chains. Many never touched land alive. You are here because they refuse to die quietly.
Yeah. From the 1500s to the 1800s, European ships crossed West Africa, Portugal, Britain, Spain, France, and the Netherlands built this trade. They bought and kidnapped African people for labor in the Americas. Historians estimate that 10 to 12 million Africans survived the crossing. Millions more died before reaching shore. People were taken from Angola, Senegal, Ghana, Nigeria, and Congo. Many were marched hundreds of miles to slave ports and chains. At ports like Elmina, Castle, and Bonny, families were separated forever. The crossing became known as the Middle Passage. Ships packed human beings below deck like cargo. Some ships held more than 400 people at once. The British ship Brooks became famous for how tightly people were packed. Men, women, and children were chained together for weeks or months. Many could not sit upright. Disease spread fast in the heat below deck. Dysentery, fever, dehydration, and starvation killed thousands. Women were sexually abused by crew members during the voyage. Some captive jumped into the ocean rather than live in slavery in 1781. The crew of the slave ship zoned through more than 130 Africans into the sea for insurance money. The owners went to court demanding payment for the murdered people. Olaudah Equiana wrote about the smell, the chains, and the screaming in his 1789 book. Your ancestors lived through organized torture, created for money.
Do not look away from this history.
They counted black bodies as cargo.
But your ancestors kept fighting. The water remembers your ancestors' names. Millions crossed the Atlantic in chains. Many never touched land alive. You are here because they refuse to die quietly.
Yeah. The Middle Passage helped build the economies of Europe and America. Sugar plantations in the Caribbean depended on enslaved labor. Cotton plantations in the American South depended on enslaved labor. Banks, Shipping companies and insurance firms made fortunes from slavery. Cities like Liverpool and Bristol grew rich from slave voyages in the United States. Slavery expanded after the invention of the cotton gin in 1793. By 1860, nearly 4 million enslaved black people lived in America. Congress banned the importation of enslaved Africans in 1808. But slavery continued inside the country. Children were still sold away from parents at auctions. Black families were still whipped, branded, and controlled by